Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Factor 50 Football Podcast with me, Michael Grantham. Thank you, listener, as always, for tuning in. If you're a regular to the podcast, the 12 of you who are, you'll already be subscribing and following and doing all that stuff on our channels. But if you're not, what are you doing with your life? Please go and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. Is it Amazon Music?
It is Amazon Music.
Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. I should really know those by now. We're also on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And across the board, we are Factor 50 Football. So Factor 50 Football. So go and follow us, subscribe, like, rate, review, comment, whatever all that stuff is. I don't really know that much about social media, even though I've run it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Also this week, I want to start the podcast. We've spoken about this a little bit, me and Adam. I want to call for listener questions. We say this all the time, and then we might mention it like 5 minutes before the end when no one's listening. So if you're a listener and if you've got a question you want to ask us, or you just want some deep, insightful football knowledge from two experts in the field, comment on social media or DM us on Instagram or whatever, and we'll read out some questions next week. We probably won't get any, but I thought if I put that at the start, we might get some. Comment on the pod posts or DM us on social media, because I would love to answer some questions. That'd be fun, and also we'd know that someone's actually listening and engaging with the podcast. Okay, enough ramble. So we've got a lot to get through this week, haven't we? It's been a big weekend for the Factor 50 crew, and the other half of said crew is with me now. He's a man whose blood sugar levels are as inconsistent as his football team. It is, of course, Adam Farrell.
Nice.
How the devil are you?
Do you know what? I rate that one. That is good. There's like some thoughts gone into that. Yeah. But for listeners who don't know, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I'm a very vulnerable man. Who last time my blood sugars went low, we were on a stag do in Bristol in Coyote Ugly, and there were some lovely ladies dancing on the bar, and I was just begging them for a full fat Coke.
Please, full fat, not diet.
Yeah.
I think they gave you diet about 3 times in a row, didn't they?
Honestly, I drank so much Coca-Cola, and it must have been Diet Coke or Pepsi Max or something. Absolute joke.
Pissing all night.
Yeah, yeah, and dying. So that was not as good. Not as good.
Not ideal. No.
Not
but
ideal.
You got on all right at the weekend. There was no hiccups.
Do you know what? Levels on the weekend were great. And it was a big weekend because the Factor 50, we say on tour, we didn't post one thing on social media the whole time.
Yeah, we said we would do that, and we did not do that. We got photos and stuff, didn't we? But I just didn't post them.
We have got some photos. So listeners, we went to Southampton. So typically once a year, me and Mike like to go to a random game, book some tickets and go watch some live football in a neutral venue, I guess, so that we can cheer on the same team for once. So we picked Southampton this time. My levels were good. It was perfectly fine. All
no
day.
Dramas.
No dramas whatsoever. What did you think about Southampton, mate? What did you did hospitality?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we went full prawn sandwich brigade, didn't we? And we went to is it the Saint Bar? That was the lounge that we were in, which was nice. The view wasn't brilliant because it's just a massive pile of mud because it's like a big construction site outside the stadium. But I enjoyed the food was good. That little lounge bar was cool. I didn't enjoy the pre-game quiz because we were shit. We got one right, I think.
It was all Southampton related for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah. Don't ask me about Southampton. Ask me about Arsenal. But yeah, I thought it was really good. It was cool. The nice, I enjoyed the padded seat as well. That was nice on my bum.
That was good. Even though we were sat right on the end of the padded seats, literally half a meter to your right were the peasants who were basically sat the same seats as us.
I was just next to someone. There was just a little rail, not even with a board or anything. It was just a metal rail between us, and that's what the 7 times the price was, I guess. That rail.
Yeah.
Stay over your side of the line, peasants.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. It was nice to have like a private bar, so you didn't have to queue up for ages. That was good.
And toilets as well. You just go to the toilet, couldn't you? That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Like, that's maybe worth it as well. And we got 3 free beers, which I think was perfect for what we needed.
Yeah.
Time, but it did mean at half time we went in for a half-time beer, and naturally it takes a little bit longer, so we missed probably the 5 minutes of the second half, and that's when Southampton scored. So we missed Southampton's goal,
and that was their only goal of the game. Yeah,
only goal of the game. And of course,
wonderful.
The result was a draw. Because anytime me and Mike go and watch football, it's always a bloody draw.
And it's a relatively, I wouldn't say boring, although the Coventry Stoke game that we saw a couple of years ago, that was dull. This awful. One, there was entertainment. It was 1-1. Obviously, Charlton paid them back. Southampton dominated, but there weren't loads of really clear-cut chances. We had bets on the game to make it a bit interesting as well, didn't we? Obviously, none of them came in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was good fun. I enjoyed watching football. And then going out in Southampton afterwards was good fun. Soak up the culture.
I really liked when you had that really warm, what was it, strawberry daiquiri or something? It was like,
oh, God, yeah, that was in Wetherspoons. Who knew getting a cocktail from Wetherspoons was a bad idea?
Yeah.
That was almost hot.
Awful.
Yeah.
But just one word on Southampton. So before we went to go see them, they're on this amazing run of form. They won like that 4 of the last 5. We see them, they draw. They played last night, which is a Tuesday, and they win 5-0.
What was that about? Yeah, and all the players that we bet on scoring scored last night.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, so really we picked the wrong game. Again,
yeah. But until next year, where we do it again. So
yeah, I think we should also shout out, although we embarrassingly can't remember his name, we should shout out that guy that we met in the Spoons beforehand, because he was lovely. He was our age, but he was a season ticket holder of like 20 years, proper football guy, goes to the game every week, meets up with a bunch of old boys there and like has a beer and goes out, and he was good fun. And he showed us the ropes, and he was like, these are the pubs you should go to afterwards. Took us to the stadium, there's the fan park and all that stuff. So shout out to you, whatever your name was. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I want to say Steve. Was it Steve?
I feel like it definitely wasn't Steve, but we can call him Steve.
No, let's call him Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, you're a legend. Steve. We really enjoyed that help. That was cool.
Absolutely legend. Even though he did recommend one place to go, which we only found as we were leaving and going home when we were grabbing a subway to go home. And there was a huge queue outside of it, and it was clearly a nightclub. I'm like, Steve,
wrong vibe.
Come on, awful.
I'm 35 years old.
Yeah, and one final thing on Southampton. So obviously we took a picture of ourselves outside the stadium and in the stadium, and I showed my family it over tea.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing they said was like, "Wow, you two look middle-aged." I was like,
oh, wonderful.
We do look very middle-aged. It looks not great. Yeah, even though Amberley also agreed with Bev that said we look like brothers, which I take massive offence to.
Me too. You're an ugly prick.
Okay, right. We were going to tease our score predictions, I think, weren't we? So for those who never listen to the end of the podcast, which is from the stats, 99% of you, at the end of the podcast, me and Mike play a game where we predict the Arsenal and Man United results that are going to happen. So points are, if you get a perfect score, you get 3 points. If you get a correct result, it's 1 point. If you get both results wrong, it's a minus point. And as of last week, it's 13-11 to Mike, and you'll find out the results at the end of the podcast if you want to listen to the end.
Cliffhanger. That's
teaser.
a good idea. We should do that more often, shouldn't we? Like, we're going to say something interesting at the end.
Yeah.
We should also say something interesting in the middle as well, I suppose, shouldn't we? But
mostly throughout. But we can't do that really because we're not very good at this.
That's hard work. That's too much hard work. We'd have to plan stuff.
Yeah, we would. I think let's get into the football, man. It has been a turbulent week for Arsenal fans. So
roller coaster.
If we rewind to the last podcast, so we recorded that on the eve of you playing Wolves.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So you were playing Wolves that day, and you said on that podcast, because I listened to it back earlier, you said, if we've got any ambition of winning the league, we have to beat Wolves. Which, of course, you didn't. You drew 2-2.
After being 2-0 up.
And it all in Southampton, and speaking to you afterwards, you have been saying, we fucked it. It's gone. It's gone. Now, obviously, since then, we've had another game, and you've played Spurs. Dr. Tottenham comes up trumps again, and you beat them and absolutely steamroller them. So, break it down for us. How are you feeling? What's the mood in the Arsenal camp?
Up and down, Adam. I'd say incredibly down, followed by incredibly up. I'm very glad we're doing the podcast now and not after the Wolves game, because that would have been a miserable podcast.
You were fuming.
Yeah, I still am fuming about the Wolves thing, but obviously it's easier to deal with it now after smashing Spurs in the derby. We had the points against Wolves. We did all the stuff that sometimes we find difficult to do, like breaking them down, getting them in goal, not shooting ourselves in the foot, and then we did all that stuff.
From 2-0 up as well. 2-0 up, and then it's 2-2.
Yeah, well, we went 2 up, and immediately, this is the two things we've kind of struggled with this season, is conceding after we score, like very quickly after we score, and conceding late goals. And we did both those two things. And of course, it was a random fullback, with the utmost respect to, was it Hugo Bueno? Is he called their right back?
Yeah, there's a lovely goal.
Arsenal have a history of like random players who have never scored a goal before in their lives at the top level, scoring worldies. And this right back, who has never scored a Premier League goal before, cuts inside and curls one top corner from 25 yards. Of course he does.
Such and then,
yeah, exactly. And then Wolves bring on, I forget his name, Edozie, who scored the equaliser. Debut. Obviously hasn't scored before, hasn't played before, and every single Arsenal fan, I think, was thinking, you're going to score. And 2 minutes from time, was it? Or probably even later than that. He capitalises on, I think it was a bad Raya mistake. Either he's got to take the ball and just get rid of it and come through Gabriel and clear him out as well, or just stay on his line, because Gabriel is going to head that out. So it was another individual mistake, which is becoming all too common. And they just looked like panicked. You could just feel the panic set in. When Wolves got one back, we started like time wasting and stuff. It's like, you don't need to do that. Just go up the other end and score 3 goals. Because Wolves didn't. The worst thing was, like, Wolves didn't play well, and they still managed to get a draw after being 2-0 down. And I don't know if you saw the stat. It's literally never happened in the history of the Premier League before. I think we said on Saturday, didn't we? So bottom playing top, 2-0 down or worse, and they've come back to draw. That has literally never, ever happened in the history of the Premier League before. So that's a lovely record to break. And after that, everyone is pretty furious. And I think this is the first time, like, it felt like the players have let themselves down, let the club down, let the fans down, really badly this season.
Yeah, you were saying there's after that result, it's gone. That these players don't have something missing.
Their heads are gone. Their heads are gone. Yeah. It wasn't. It's not like an ability thing against Wolves. They're much, much better. They just panicked and they lost their heads. And that's worrying when you're trying to win a title, right? Especially against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, because if you let your concentration and focus go for any period of time, to the point where it's costing you points in the league, like, they're gonna thrive off that, and they'll chase us down again. It felt very, very 22-23 season, or 23-24 season. Take your pick. The last 3 seasons. It felt like, we're fucking it up again. But then, obviously, I don't have to end there, because we've played the Tottenham game now.
I was so excited for the Spurs game. Just to jump in there, I was so excited for the Spurs game. I thought new manager bounce for Spurs. They're going to make it really difficult to compete. I thought, your heads were gone. I was like, this is going to be great. They're going to absolutely collapse. And then
popcorn at the ready.
You turn it on.
It was a great response. I actually think that having the derby as the next game was the perfect game to have. A, because Tottenham was shit. So it's quite an easy game. But B, because if you can't get up for that game, you're fucked. And I think if we had dropped points against Tottenham, you could be right in the seat. Right, I would still be top, which is mad. But you'd be like, so many people would be writing us off. But to respond that way, not just obviously smashing them 4-1, but just the performance as a whole, free-flowing attacking football, 4 goals from open play, a couple of players who have taken criticism this season, Eze and Gyökeres, finding form and scoring goals, looking threatening. It was Gyökeres' best game for us, probably by a mile. He was involved. He was setting other players up and interchanging with Eze and Saka. Saka was excellent. Didn't get a goal, but could have scored 3 or 4. The whole team, barring that one Declan Rice stupid mistake, the whole team back to front were brilliant. Love to see it.
I think so obviously he started Eze, which he hasn't done that often, and I was thinking, why has he done that? And obviously the last time Eze scored was that hat-trick against Tottenham.
He just scores loads of goals against Tottenham.
Yeah, okay. Do you reckon that's all it was? Do you reckon it was like, right, you did great against them last time, go do the same thing again? Or did Arteta have a bit more thought into it than that?
I think he did say, actually, like that was part of his thinking. Like he played so well against them in the home game, scoring a hat-trick. That's part of why he started him. But I think the other part is, sorry, got a sore throat. Too much partying at the weekend. The other part of it was Ødegaard's not fully fit, or he's just come back. So I think that's another reason he was on the bench. But he came on and looked good as well and got an assist for Gyökeres' last goal. So that's another good thing. It just feels like now, so where we're at now, we've got 10 games to go in the league, plus all the cup stuff. We need to find a settled 11, particularly in attack, because there's so many players coming in and out. Just like let them find those connections, find some rhythm, start them in every game. So that front 4 of Trossard, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres worked really well. So like put them on the pitch more. And
it's a great point. Usually at this point, you know your best 11, but it feels like maybe Arsenal don't at the minute, and that is.
Yeah, I think so. I think defensively we do. I think the back 4 kind of pick themselves. Although Calafiori, Hincapié, you could sort of pick one or the other. Hincapié's in great form at the moment, which is another big plus. But yeah, I think this stage of the season, obviously early in the season, you can't play every player all the time because they're just going to burn out. But what have we got now? 2.5 months to go. So probably 15, 16 games if we get to the final of every cup or whatever. It's almost like you want to just say, just give it, empty the tank, just give it everything now. And as long as players are not like, causing themselves injury and they're sharp and they can just start the same guys. Like let them, especially when they're in form, let them keep playing and building relationships and strengthen that starting 11. Because I think attacking players need that form, don't they? Like if he drops Eze for the next game, what more has he got to do to start? I think he's got to start the next one.
You do need a rhythm. Wayne Rooney was one of the big ones for that. Like if he consistently play, he was shocking. Like he needed consistent games to be really good. But did Saka start in central areas again, or was he out?
No, he was on the so he'd gone back to the right. Madueke was on the bench.
Right.
Saka moved over to the right. Eze was kind of floating, really. Like he was central, but he was popping up on the left, popping up on the right a little bit. He was kind of doing sort of what we did with Havertz when he was back before he got injured again, where he was playing the number 10 much closer to Gyökeres. So there were lots of little short interchange of passes between those two rather than Gyökeres being isolated. And that really works, having Eze further up the pitch. Ødegaard likes to come deep, but that isolates the forward. So Eze playing closer to him, I think, is something we should keep doing.
Okay. So up and down. Obviously, when the Wolves result happen, it's over. Tottenham result happens. Where are you at the minute?
It's back on, mate. The quad's on.
The quad's on again. Jeez. Football fans so fickle.
No, I still have concerns, obviously, because that Wolves game's still pretty recent. But the response is good. We need consistency now. We need to go on a little run of 3 or 4 games of consistency, which I think we can do because this is the first week where we're not playing midweek for 3 months. I think it's like mid-December. the last time we had a full week of rest. So a chance to like let the players have a bit of time off and hopefully smash Chelsea. Is it Sunday? I think it is next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I like our chances. If we play like that more, if we sort of handbrake off, is the phrase, isn't it? That Arsene Wenger used to say, and just like let the attacking players do their thing and go forwards like we did against Spurs, and not all cagey and tight and scared like we did against Wolves. I don't want to. If we see that again, we're going to drop more points, aren't we?
So you still think you're going to win the league?
Yes, I do. So I found this. I've got the fixture list up, Farrell, for the last 10 games. 10 games to go. I like to do this every year. I've done it for the last 3 years and just disappointed myself. Because obviously we're so good at predictions, I've got the last 10 games for Arsenal and City. I thought what we could do is whiz through those games and go like, they're going to win that, draw that, lose that, win that. And then we'll have our final Premier League table predictions. So then the listeners don't need to follow for the rest of the season. They know who's going to win the league.
They've heard it from the experts first.
Facts.
No, I like that because I think Arsenal will still win the league. But if we do this and actually,
you'll know. Yeah.
The numbers might say Man City are going to win. So let's do it.
Okay, so let's do Man City's first.
Okay.
I'll make a note over here of how many points we're saying they're going to get, and then we'll work out the final totals. So I'll say the fixture, and you can just say win, draw, loss. Yeah, we won't. Don't just go with your gut. Don't overthink it.
I won't.
So we've got Leeds away next for Man City.
Win.
So we've got a win. Hang on. I'm not actually writing it down. I should have set that up, shouldn't I? Okay, so you got win, Leeds away. Okay. Forest at home.
Win.
West Ham away.
Win.
This is a bad start. Palace at home.
They haven't got Palace at home. When's that?
It's their that's their next
fixture.
Their rearranged fixture. It hasn't got a week yet, but that's
okay.
It'll be around about that time, I think.
Palace is one of their bogey sides, so I'll go for a draw.
Oh, okay. Chelsea away.
Draw.
Arsenal at home, the big one.
Win.
Oh, prick. Burnley away.
Win.
Everton away.
Win.
Brentford at home.
Yeah, win, I guess. Even though Brentford are quite good.
Bournemouth away.
Win.
And the last game, Villa at home.
Ooh. Loss. A loss on the last day of the season at home. Yeah.
Okay.
Home.
So you've got them 7 wins. Hang on, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 wins. Oh yeah, because they've got 11 games. That's got an extra game, haven't they? 8 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. That will give them 24, 26 points from their remaining 33 available. That's a pretty good run. I think if they do that, they might win the league.
Yeah.
Okay. Arsenal's games.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
So, our next game, Chelsea at home.
I'm going to go win.
Brighton away.
Win.
Everton at home.
Win.
Bournemouth at home.
I'm going to say win, but these aren't all going to be wins. But yeah, win.
They're not going to all be wins, but I think they'll all be wins.
Like on paper.
Yeah. The next one is City away, and you said that City were going to win that, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's loss for Arsenal, yeah.
So that's a loss. Newcastle at home.
Draw.
Fulham at home.
Win.
West Ham away.
or West Ham will be playing for some stuff. I would say win, but yeah.
Burnley at home.
Win.
And the last one is Palace away, last day of the season. The Eberechi Eze derby.
It's got to, yeah, I'll say win.
Okay, you've got both of us having a pretty good run there. So you've got us with eight wins, a draw, and a loss. So it's 25 points. So let's have a look at the table. You've got Man City finishing on, if my maths is correct, 82 points, and you've got Arsenal finishing on 86 points. So you've got Arsenal in the league by 4 points. Do you stand by that?
I don't know. Yeah, I think Arsenal will still win the league. So I think that's right. It's hard when you're calling out those games because you go, yeah, that was probably a win now because you're the best two teams in the league. So it's really difficult to go actually. And what might happen is in 5 games' time, there might be a team in massive form. So when you play Brentford, for example, they were in really good form. Whereas if you play them at the start of the season, they weren't in that great form. So it's difficult, isn't it? There's a lot.
It changes massively.
There's nuance.
There is. And like a team sacks a manager and the new manager changes it and they turn out to be really good or whatever, or there's a lot of, you can also have, so some games towards the end of the season are weird, aren't they? Because you're almost better off not playing teams near the relegation zone. You want like a mid-table team with nothing to play for.
Yeah.
If you're playing West Ham, who have to win to stay up or something, that is a much harder game than, I don't know, Everton, who are solid mid-table, nothing to play for.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Hard to predict.
It is. But I still think Arsenal win the league.
There we go.
So let's see what happens.
There we go. You heard it here first, guys. Arsenal by 4 points.
Yeah.
So Arsenal going to lose the City game, but still win by 4 points.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it just goes to show the narrative that come out there, because obviously my predictions will come true because I'm the best pundit around. So the reactions when you do lose to City will be that you've bottled it and you've lost the league, but maybe you haven't.
It'll be huge. I think even before that, the League Cup final, whoever wins that, the other team will be like, oh my God, well, if it's City, they won't, because people don't care about City. They've got no fans. But if we lose that, they'll be like, oh, they've bottled it. Immediately, they've bottled it.
Yeah, but if we go back to last week, you said, I asked you the question, does the winner of the League Cup have a massive bearing on the title?
It does, yeah.
You said yes, so you're in that camp. It does have a bearing, unless we lose, then it has no bearing whatsoever.
Of course. Yeah, if we lose, it doesn't matter. It's just a League Cup.
Yeah.
No, it will have an impact. It just psychologically, it will have an impact, won't it? Because it's the two teams in the title race in that final. So that'll be a big game. I need to put that in my calendar. When is that? When is the League Cup final?
I did have it here.
It's March, isn't it?
We're on a football podcast. You're in a final of a trophy, and you don't know when it is.
No idea.
No idea.
It's in March sometime, isn't it?
It's
22nd of March.
Yeah,
that's it. Put that in the diary. That's a big day. That'll be the first trophy of 4.
The quad is still on.
Shall we talk about Manchester United?
Yes, please. Let's talk about United. Do you want me to just summarise about how the game went and my thoughts?
Yeah, what happened against? So you played Everton at home? No, Everton were at home, weren't they? So you were away.
Everton at home. Yeah, we were away.
How did the game go? I didn't see this one. So
it was very similar to West Ham's. It was like a really ugly game. The only difference is that Everton didn't really come to play, whereas West Ham had some players that could cause you issues, where Everton were much more set pieces, play for corners, and flood the box. I'll make a point about corners later in the podcast, but they just really went for it, like creating so much melee in that centre. But yeah, Sene Le Mans did fantastic. He had probably his best game for United in goal. So he punched a lot, but he punched the ball out from corners quite a lot, caught it a few times, made some really good key saves. So yeah, he played very, very well. And Šeško to the rescue again. So didn't start, comes on as a substitute. And his goal was really good. So we're defending, comes to Šeško, he lays it off, I think to Luke Shaw to Cunha. Cunha plays a wicked ball out on Bruno, is making a great run, and then Šeško just turns on the afterburners. Like, he just leaves, I think it's Tarkowski for dead. So makes up probably a couple of yards on him, beats him to it. Ball's played across the box from Cunha, and really nice finish from Šeško. So 2 games in a row now, he's come on as a sub and saved us. And I think I said against West Ham he probably should have started. So against that low block, we probably needed to have someone in the box a little bit more that we could play balls into. And maybe we should have started again. I do think Carrick's probably a little bit worried because he's got a settled 11 that he's sort of getting results with, and Šeško's coming on and scoring goals. So if you change that and put Šeško starting, it changes the whole fluidity of that front 3 that he goes for, and you've just got somebody a bit more of a bit more stuck in that area, and he's not going to interchange into other places. So I think Carrick might resist starting him again. Because there's a lot of calls in the minute from United fans to start Šeško in our next game. Because obviously,
but if he's scoring off the bench, like sometimes you need players who can change a game, don't you?
Yeah, and I think that's the word for Šeško, is that he gets stuck with that sort of tag and
super sub.
He's a great person to come off the bench, because I mentioned last week we don't have many options from an attacking sense to come on and change the game, where he's a very good option to do that, because he changes the style of play into a much more you could be more direct, which towards the end of the game you want to be, but maybe at the start of the game you won't be as much. I think
it gives you a focal point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, these last 2 games were typically the games that we were struggling, right? We'd get up for the big games that we could play against the big boys and get results. But when we play against the low block, we really struggle, because typically we counter-attack. And ironically, the goal we scored here was a massive counter-attack. But that's typically how we get our
classic counter-attack.
And there weren't many counter-attacks on, but we managed to get one and got a result. So I think good result in the end, but actually the last 2 games, if you look at our performances, they've not been great. We've had a couple of good individuals, so Le Mans and Šeško in the last game, but other than that, the performances have been a bit stodgy playing against these low block teams. So it's been a little bit more difficult, but we've got decent results, so we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, you're the longest unbeaten one in the league now, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, what are we on? Is it 10 games now? I think it is. Unbeaten in the league?
I think it's 10, yeah. I think you've won won 7, drawn 3 or something.
Which is funny, isn't it?
And Carrick's obviously... Go on.
I was going to say, it's funny, isn't it? Because we've had a change of manager in that great form.
Yeah, that is weird. But Carrick's done... He's played 6 and won 5 of them or something, and drawn 1.
Yeah, won 5, drawn 1. So we've only dropped points against West Ham.
Do you still think that he is not the right manager? Manager?
Yeah, I still think that. I don't think he should get it. I saw on Sky Sports someone said earlier, if he finishes 3rd, he should definitely get it. Not really. I don't think it changes the fact that actually we need someone who's sort of been there and done it. And like I said, I'm still really up for Carrick sticking around for a bit. It's hard because sometimes that can create a narrative of whoever does come in, you're here for maybe a couple of seasons, and Carrick will take over, and does that undermine that person's authority? Blah blah blah. I don't know. But I think Carrick will get a good job at the end of this.
I was going to say you guys might want him to stick around, but if he does well enough but doesn't get a permanent job, he's going to want like a Premier League job, probably, isn't he? I doubt he'd want to be a number 2 after doing well at a mid-sized club like United.
For me, like, if he went somewhere like Palace, that's a great club for him to go to, I think, after Glasner. The difficulty is obviously they've not invested in the squad very much. So maybe you look at the squad and go, actually, there's players there that are probably going to leave. Like Mateta's probably going to leave, Adam Wharton, Munoz. But maybe Carrick coming in, they might stay for one more season. So I could see that working. But I don't think he should be the Man United manager yet.
Okay.
And I just think our squad is very thin. Like I said, I said this last week. Like Casemiro's leaving in the summer, and who thought we'd be saying this? But God, it's going to leave a pretty big hole in our midfield.
Is he? a big old-legged hole. Although I think he's younger than me.
Yeah, the form he's been has been amazing. He actually gives a bit more attacking threat than people, people give him credit for. Like especially from headers, you wouldn't expect it, but he's great in the air. So there's talks about us going to Forest and trying to swoop Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson. But if you think they're going to cost a crazy amount of money,
yeah, especially if they do well. I don't know whether Gibbs White will make the squad, but if Elliot Anderson does well for England at the World Cup, 100 million probably won't be enough.
No. So it's that's tricky. But if we get Champions League football, that gives us the opportunity, hopefully, to go for, or at least be in conversation with better players. So I think it's important we get that Champions League place.
Yeah. And do you think you will?
I'm still in the same place where I'm hopeful. We've given ourselves a great chance because we're only playing one game a week, but we still don't have as good a squad as Chelsea and Liverpool. But they just can't seem to string results together, either of them. So
they can't. Yeah, they're very inconsistent. So you've got 3 points ahead. You have 3 points ahead of both of them.
Yeah.
All played the same amount of games. 11 games to go.
Our goal difference is,
and you're only 3. Yeah, your goal difference is better than Liverpool's, surprisingly. But Chelsea have a better goal difference than you. Yeah. But you're also only 3 points behind Villa, so they're probably in this sort of tussle as well for 3rd, 4th, 5th positions.
I think Villa.
But it's going to be 3 out of those 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like if Villa, if they get injuries or whatever, they could drop like a stone and then out of the Champions League places, which is very similar to how Forest did it, right? A couple of years ago, where they were in and amongst it, so they're going to get it and then just fall away at the end. They've got more.
Villa have got. They've got a lot of injuries already. They don't need any more. I think their starting midfield 3 are all out or something? Like Tielemans, what's his face? Kamara is out for the season, who was really good at the start of this season, and John McGinn. I don't know. He might be back before the end of the season, but they're all out, so they're already down to the bare bones, and they've got the Europa League, which we know Unai Emery's going to go for. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think they'll struggle to get top 5. I think they could be. I don't want them to. I'd love them to finish in the top 5. But I think they could be the one, just because the size, like the relentlessness of the clubs chasing them. I feel like they might struggle, but hopefully they'll cling on to 5th and get Champions League again. Although it could do them a favour not getting Champions League, couldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, so we'll see. I'm just enjoying it at the minute. Man United get some decent results, so it's fun.
We're not losing every week. It's lovely.
Yeah, we haven't lost 10 games. It's great. It's great. Cool. Let's move on from United then. I wrote down a couple of questions here. So one, I'm pretty sure I know the answer. What you're going to say. So, are Spurs genuinely in with a chance of being relegated this year?
Yes, absolutely yes. Like
really? Do you think they could actually go down?
Yeah, I think like last season, the only thing that will keep them up is that there are 3 teams shitter than them. They're not going to stay up on merit because they're good enough. They'll only go down if obviously there's 2 teams we know are worse. Wolves and Burnley are gone, I think. But I definitely think this season, the third one is not as clear-cut as last season. And if Wolves and Forest can put a run together, and like you look at some of the players, Wolves, West Ham and Forest put a run together. You look at some of the players in those squads, they're definitely good enough to put a decent run together. And you only need 2 or 3 wins. And the form Spurs are in, if Igor Tudor's new manager bounce, if that's a thing, if that doesn't work and he can't pick up points and can't turn their fortune around, I think West Ham and Forest will both get a decent points total. They'll be close to 40 points. And I don't think that'll be enough if Spurs get sort of mid-30s, I don't think that's going to be enough to stay up. So I think they are in trouble. They're just a mess. We were really good against them, but also they were terrible. It was a bit of both.
Yeah.
So, do you think they're in trouble?
So I think they are, only because, to your point, I think West Ham and Nottingham Forest are 2 very good teams. So I don't think they are, like I said, Wolves and Burnley are down. Last year, there wasn't really, like, Tottenham finished 17th, but they weren't really in a relegation battle because they were miles ahead of everyone else. They just weren't going to get dragged.
Yeah, there was a cushion there, wasn't there, last
yeah,
season?
and they focused on Europa League, so that was fine. Whereas this year, like, West Ham have only lost one in their last 6 Premier League games, so they're picking up points. And Forest, still inconsistent. I still don't think they should have got rid of Sean Dyche, but they've got the players there that could go on a run. So I think they could be. And God, that would be mad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be incredible. Can you imagine so that Arsenal win the league, Spurs get relegated by an ex-manager, so Nuno's gone to West Ham, keeps West Ham up and relegates Tottenham, all in the same season. That would be the most delicious, wonderful end to a season in the history of the Premier League. For Arsenal fans, anyway.
Okay, fine.
But
go ahead.
Also, West Ham and Spurs also hate each other, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's quite a big rivalry down there. They hate each other nearly as much as Arsenal and Spurs hate each other. So that's it's on. It's a big relegation scrap, isn't it? Which is nice. I think last season it was like there was really no jeopardy of relegation for anyone because those 3 teams were miles below.
Yeah. Well, I would say Spurs have got a half decent run in. Like, the only real big teams they've got left to play is they've got Liverpool, and they've got Villa, and they've still got, Forest to play. They've still got Leeds to play. They've got.
Do they play West Ham again?
No, they don't.
That would have been a belter.
Yeah. Doesn't look like they're playing West Ham on the fixture list, I can see. So we'll see what happens there. I was going to ask one more question, just to get your thoughts on this, and a fairly quick, swift answer. So, obviously, Man City are still being investigated for all their charges, right? And I was watching a podcast the other day, and there was a guy in there who seems to know quite a lot about this stuff. So the hearing's been heard, but there was just thousands and thousands of pieces of evidence. So the hearing's done. Now the judges, the lawyers need to go away and make a decision of basically the result of those charges. It could be ages until it comes out. Who knows? Because actually this time last year we thought they might come out, but they didn't. Let's say they were guilty of the most serious offences. What would be the correct course of action? And I'll caveat this, by the way, they can't just relegate them. That's against the rules, but they can give them a points deduction. What would be the best course of action, you think, for City?
Just give them like a 80 points deduction or something. Or if you pro rata it based on this many rule breaches is this many points, and there's been previous examples of this, right? So like Leicester, Everton twice, wasn't it? Everton twice got points deductions for whatever they did. That surely then they can pro rata that out to Man City, however many charges they're found guilty of, and say, okay, this is how many points you get deducted. But if they can't relegate them, just give them a stupidly high points deduction so that even if they won, every game, they're still going to be in the relegation zone. So give them a 70-point deduction, 80-point deduction, and then they're going to get relegated, aren't they? So that's what I think. That's an appropriate course of action. I don't think they'll have anything done to them.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Is my opinion.
My second question off the back of that, very quickly, was, let's say they did get found guilty for the most serious charges. Would you then feel really aggrieved, really pissed off do you feel like you would have been robbed of a Premier League title, for example?
Yes, and it's not just us, because they robbed Liverpool of a few, and probably just us and Liverpool. Although actually it goes back to 2013, I think. So anyone who's finished second
goes back to the Aguero goal.
Yeah. But it's been so long that it wouldn't be it's not really simmering away under the surface. It's just that was 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, some of those. And I think that it's so obvious that they've cheated, and not just cook the books a bit, but it's fraud, isn't it? What they've done. So what other teams have done is overspent, and so they've been penalised. City have just lied about it. The other teams reported it correctly and everything, but just spent too much and didn't earn enough, so got points deduction. This is a different level of cheating, isn't it? It's just covering it up.
If they get found, guilty for fraud, then basically all the board will have to go. City. So when Juventus has been found guilty of match fixing and got relegated, all their board have to go as well. Cool. Well, let's see how it plays out. Predictions time, shall we?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
We teased.
Well, do we really want to?
We were working this out earlier about how bad we are at predicting. So each week there's 6 points on offer for each person, and we worked out that we've probably predicted around 18 weeks now worth of games.
2 games a week.
2 games a week each. And coming into this, you're on 13 points and I'm on 11. Now, Arsenal versus Wolves. I went for a 3-0 win to Arsenal. Bastards. You went for a 5-0 win, which
I went big.
doesn't look good anymore. And of course, it was a Wolves draw. So no nil point for both of us there. Great. And then the United-Everton result, I went 2-1. And obviously United won 1-0. And you went for a draw, 1-1. So I get a point, which brings me up to 12. You get a minus point because you got both predictions wrong, which leaves us on 12 points each.
Back to the same score again. Just
we are shit.
It's not even kind of close, is it?
No,
well, it's close between us, but it's not close in terms of us getting any. Have we even got a perfect score yet? Has one of us got
a few of us have got a perfect score, which makes it worse, right? Because if we did 2 weeks and we predicted the correct score 4 times, we'd be on 12 points. So
and we've been doing it for 18, 19 weeks. Wonderful.
On that note,
so basically, if you're listening to this podcast for football insight, you need to find a new podcast. You just want to listen to this for our charisma, right?
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Please? We don't know what we're talking about.
Just make it all up.
Yeah. Well, I predicted first last week. So you can first this week. Now, we are both playing on Sunday. The United game is first. Yeah. We're at home to Palace at 2:00 on Sunday. So what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for a home win. Palace in a bit of turmoil. I know they beat Wolves and they got a late win against Wolves, but I think Glasner's kind of, I don't know, it feels like he's a bit sulky. Like they know he's on the way out. And,
yeah.
So I'm going to go 2-0 United, home win.
Okay, well, that's a good pick, I think. So I'm going to go for on that one. I'm going to go 3-1. I think we'll turn 3-1. It on. We'll turn it on at home. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Now I picked first both times last week, so you can pick.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm going to say we're going to win. I'm cautious of going like 1 or 2 on Arsenal because I always do that. I think we'll win. I don't know whether Chelsea are going to go play like they did against us in the League Cup, where they had to score or they were out, and all they did was defend the entire time. But we still won with that late Havertz goal. I think we'll win. I think Chelsea will be a bit more gung ho. So I'll say there's goals. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
Okay, 3-1 Arsenal. Okay. Now I'm going to totally contradict myself in the same podcast here. So when we're predicting the result, we predicted that Arsenal win. But I've changed my mind, and I think it will be a draw.
Draw.
And I was going to pick it 2-2, but you've already had a 2-2 draw. So I'm actually going to go for a stalemate 0-0. A bore off of a 0-0
draw.
Yeah.
I feel like Chelsea are too combustible. They're too unpredictable. And we're doing predictions, but they're too they could turn up and play a certain they could really go for it, or they just sit in with a back 5 and 2 defensive midfielders like they did in the League Cup. It's hard to know what Chelsea are going to turn up, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm doing a new tactic where I'm going to go totally against what I think, because at the moment choosing what I think will happen has not worked well. So
that is a good point. If we'd both just flipped every result, we'd probably have more points now, wouldn't we?
Yeah, almost definitely.
Let's not pull at that thread. But yeah.
Okay, great. Well, join us next week to see who's winning or to see
What
us.
happened?
We both can't get minus points because there's a draw and there's a difference, so we'll be okay.
Okay, yeah. So somebody's going to get a point at least, which means somebody will be winning this time next week.
No, we both could get minus points actually, because if Chelsea win and Palace win, yeah, we both get minus points. So come next week to see both on 11 all.
Almost guaranteed.
Almost guaranteed.
Put some money on that.
Okay. Well, I think that's a wrap. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll be back next Wednesday, I think. If we haven't planned that far ahead, but we'll probably be back next Wednesday recording. And this will be going out tonight. Farrell, you usually do it, don't you? So this will be in your ears or faces if you watch on YouTube later on today, Wednesday. So thank you for listening, listener. And see you next week.